Hello everyone and welcome along to round 13 of the SRL PS4 F1 World Championship here from the legendary Monza circuit in Italy. Well, after the drama of Spa, we're better to arrive than this wonderful circuit. The Tifosi are out in force. The circuit just 30 minutes from Milan, and I can assure you there'll be many people trooping down on this fine Saturday afternoon to support the beloved Ferrari team. Well, the championship standings took a major twist last time out with Shimasi unable to pick up any points whatsoever, and his main rival got right in there and made sure he took the 25 points to make this championship really interesting. Shimasi still leads it though. He has a 12-point advantage over Ash Richardson in second. Shimasi with 160 points, and in second Ash Richardson with 148. Then it's Pitmat in third position, who's at a bit of a dip in form of late. He's not been on the podium since, what's that, the Canadian Grand Prix, I believe? So that's a long time with no podium for Pitmat, considering he is one of the championship contenders. Fourth position in the standings is Matt Meerkat, and fifth is Skeven. Can he finally start winning races? Goodness me, it's been such a struggle. A man with so much pace, so much promise, unable so far this season, other than the opening round of the championship, to win another race. Quite incredible. Chris sits third in the championship. That's Frisky CJ. He's at back-to-back podiums. He's in good form at the moment as we arrive at Monza. Can he once again get in amongst the action at the front? So he's sixth in the standings. Space Unicorn sits seventh with OTG in eighth. Daniel Roberts is ninth. That's a good battle between those two, OTG and Daniel Roberts. Keep an eye on that as the season goes on. There's only 7 points between them. There's a lot of talk between the two of them in the paddock this morning about the battle that will rage in today's race between them. So to keep an eye on that, Red Matt sits 10th in the standing. So let's have a little look then. I've got a very big field here. Arguably the biggest, I think it is the biggest field of the season so far. So it's very good to see such a huge field for a Friday night here in the SRL F1 League on PS4. And we're going to ride on board with the Eagle Killer, who's actually making his debut here today. One of 2 debutants in the field, the other Julian. So we need to keep an eye on those two. But I'm riding on board right now. Sorry, Tiger Cut is the other debutant here this weekend. 3 debutants, I apologise. But the Eagle Killer heading now down towards the second of the 2 chicanes in the first sector, or just at the end of that first sector, and now heading down towards the 2 Lesmos. On his debut then in McLaren. He missed out last week. He actually signed up over the Christmas break between Hungary and Belgium, but he was unable to attend last week. But he is here today, hoping to put a marker down amongst the front runners. Let's see what kind of pace he has then as he heads down this long back straight underneath the bridge where the old oval circuit of Monza used to go. And the F1 cars used to race back here down in the 1950s. It's just such a historic racetrack here at Monza. So many great moments down the years as we watch the Eagle Killer. He's actually backing off now. He's weaving the tyres, warming the tyres up as Jamie Gase. It's the first time of the day. A 1 minute 21.5. We should see lap times down into the 20s later on in the session, but let's watch as OTG goes second, 1:22.2, and the Eagle Killer, his first lap of the day, is abandoned. He comes into the pits. Let's watch for Skeven then. What can he do today? As Tyne has gone to the top of the timings with a 1:20.9, solid effort. Cherry 2 Pie goes third quickest, 1:21.6. Ash Richardson, 5th quickest, 1:21.8. He'll be looking to go a lot quicker than that as one of the title contenders. CJ going into second place now, 1:21.4. And Pitmat now into 4th place with a 1:21.5. So let's keep an eye on Skeven in the Ferrari at home for the Italian team. Boy, are they wanting a big result today. No win for him since Melbourne. What a place this would be to get it. He's been trying his best to get one. We'll go on board with him now as he goes down the start-finish straight towards turn 1. There'll be a lot of action here in the Grand Prix tomorrow, not just at the start, but in the race as well. Some serious overtaking opportunities here, and Skeven getting a lot of curb going into that first corner and immediately ruins his lap. And yeah, not at all what he will be hoping for. He needs to get a lap in pretty soon. He actually made a mess last week in Belgium with his qualifying. Went for a spin, having not completed a quick lap, all through the session, went to do one with his final effort and spun out the source in the first corner, so he'll be hoping to get a banker on the board pretty quickly, or the pressure of the Tifosi will start to tell. Some crowd here this weekend. You expect at least 90,000 Italian fans rolling on these red machines, and Skeeran really needs to put a show on for them. Can't afford to have a DNF. We're also waiting on Shimasi to set a time. He's coming through the final corner now and about to start a flying lap. So across the line go. He's actually just done one, a 155 flat. So is he bringing the tyres in? Is that how he feels is the best way to do it? As he heads towards the first chicane, a lot of traffic in front. Chicken just about gets out of the way. Might have distracted Shimasi a little, but there's nothing Chicken could do. And he got out of the way best he could. And actually Shimasi was brilliant through the first couple of corners. And as he now heads down through Curva Grande now towards the second chicane, the Della Roggia chicane, and he heads through there now, and he's back on the throttle, the Red Bull in front of him. I believe that is the debutant of Julian just in front of him. Yes, it is. A little story to be told here. Julian might just be brand new to the league, but he loves his storms. He was telling us in the paddock he's a big fan of Supercells, Super Storms, and he got in a little bit of a stormy battle with Frisky CJ in the paddock earlier today after practice. There was a little bit of argy-bargy after practice 3. I think they got very close on the racetrack, and the two of them had a little scuffle, but thankfully the Red Bull team, Christian Horner, and the Mercedes team of the Frisky CJ managed to split it up, and there was no war between the two, and thankfully they've all made up now, and hopefully that's going to be the end of that little saga. But back with Shimasi, who I think has had to abandon the lap due to traffic. Indeed he has, and is back into the pits. So both Shimasi and Skeeran under pressure early on here, none of them able to get a representative time on the board. And with only 5 minutes to go, they're only going to have 1 or 2 more runs. So with 5 minutes to go, let's have a quick rundown of the order. It is Jamie Day on top. Surprisingly, it's Tyne in second place. That's a great effort from him, a 120.9. Cherry Tupai in third, with Red Jams fourth. Those two in the front row last weekend, would you believe? Frisky CJ fifth with a 121.4. Pit Matt in sixth with a 121.595. Julian is in 7th place. And in 8th place is Axe Richardson. He needs a big time, especially with Shimasi down the order. Tiger Cat, one of the debutants, in 9th. OTG is 10th. Jacob 11th, the Slovakian driver. Robin 12th. And JG is, sorry, I'm miscounting this. Jacob 11th, Robin 12th, JG 13th, Shimasi 14th, and the rest have yet to do a time. But Diego Killer is coming up towards the line now to complete a lap, and he goes second quickest on his debut. That's a fantastic effort, that, from Diego Keller. Wow, superb effort on his debut, and he's really showing that he can mix it with the big boys here. Fantastic time from Diego Keller. And he's going on to another quick lap then, with a lot of the drivers in the pits at the moment. What can he do on this second run as he heads down towards the Della Roggia chicane? Through there now, pretty tidy from Diego Keller. And now down towards the first Lesmo, throwing the car in. This is one of the few areas on the racetrack where you could do with a little bit of aerodynamic downforce. Monza with so many long straights. You see the cars often running the skinniest wings you'll see all season on the rear. And that little kind of makes the DRS a little less effective, which is why overtaking is not actually that easy around this track. And Dale Keller then flying through the Ascari chicane. It has to be said, he's really got that car planted. It looks settled. He's not overdriving at all on his debut. He has got a point to prove, and so far driving very smoothly as he comes out of the final corner. Is he abandoning this lap and heading for the pits? He sure is heading for the pits. We've got Jamie Day about to start a flying lap. Across the line now to begin one. 120.8. He is currently the quickest man of all as he heads down towards the Variante chicane. And Jamie Day currently on top, 1/10 ahead of Diego Keller. 10 is third. 4th position for Cherry Tupai, 5th for Red Jams. Those two doing a great job. It's very interesting, ever since the summer break, Skeeran and Shimasi have arguably had a little bit more challengers out there on the racetrack. Well, Ash Richardson as well, of course. Cannot forget him. As Jamie Day gets the car very, very, very sideways, coming through that second chicane. And he's really not the man to watch now. We have to go to Shimasi and Skeven, who really need to get a lap on the board here. And Shimasi heading through Curva Grande now. And down towards the De La Roggia chicane. Through it he goes, locking the left front up as he hits the apex with no issues at all. A little bit of curb on the exit, through now into the first Lesmo, throwing the McLaren in. It's where the McLaren is best on this Monza circuit. Never quick in a straight line, but they always have claimed they've got a good chassis underneath them. And that is where the McLaren is at its best. And now down towards Ascari, a real corner, a fantastic corner. This really separates the men from the boys. Shimasi throwing it in through there now. High speed, 5th, 6th gear, now climbing up into 7th gear. Now 8th gear as he heads down towards the Parabolica, picking up all the slipstream he can from the back of Cherry 2 Pie. Into the famous Parabolica corner he goes, sort of getting on the throttle nice and early. How close to the edge of the circuit do you dare to go? In recent years it used to be gravel over there, it's now a good runoff area, and Shimasi goes to within half a 10 of Jamie Day, so he delivers. Now the pressure's on Skeven, who's last of all. Ash Richardson goes quickest, a 1:20.6. Now Skeven really needs to deliver. 30 seconds left in the session. This is his only effort. He cannot afford to do what he did in Belgium. He's got through the first few corners, he's got through the first sector without an error. What can he do then as he heads through the second Lesmo? And now down towards Ascari, opening the DRS, heading down through the little kink on the left there, and now underneath the old circuit, the Ferrari fans in the grandstand, cheering him on. He really needs to deliver here, does Skeven. He's got the rear end, he's crashed, he's gone off, he's done it again. Skeven does exactly what he did last week in Belgium, only worse. He's written off the Ferrari. And that, listen to that noise, that is the thud of hearts sinking in the grandstands here at Monza. A Ferrari car flying in the first sector, looking good for pole, now beats in the barrier, down in the gravel trap, down at Ascari. His session is over, and would you believe it, Skeven is out of qualifying. He starts dead last, but incredibly, while we were watching him, Matt Meerkat has stormed to the top of the standings and taken pole position right at the dead. What a session that is. Skeven in the wall, unable to deliver in front of his home crowd, and he will be furious with himself. But look at qualifying, look how that is shaped up. Matt Meerkat goes quickest with a 1:20.6. What an effort from him. Ash Richardson second, a 1:20.6 as well. And Julian, look at that. He was all talking in the group chat. He then calmed down a little, said points was all he was hoping for. He's got to be pleased with third in his debut. That's a great effort. Cherry 2 Pie fourth, continuing his good form. Jamie Day, the early pace setter, sits fifth. Shimasi will be disappointed with sixth. And the two Dutchies are 7th and 8th. Pitmat 9th. And Red Jams sits in 10th. Well, I have to say, that was a fantastic qualifying session. It'll be interesting to see how Skeven can come through the field. Even Shimasi struggling as well, only 6th quickest. And yeah, very, very surprising to see him struggling so much. But look what's greeted us as we get ready for the Italian Grand Prix. It was a beautiful day yesterday, but it is throwing it down with rain here today. Goodness me, would you believe it? Where better to have a wet race. Remember that one back in 2008 at Monza with Sebastian Vettel won in a Toro Rosso? Well, if we can have anything like that race here in SRL today, it will be a cracker. We have a full grid almost here today. And now the 5 red lights will go on. We get ready for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. Round 13 of the championship is underway. And the cars move a little bit slowly off the grid this time, as they try to get some traction in this damp track, as they all huddle towards the first corner. Ash Richardson gets a jump on that Meerkat as he heads towards the first corner. Shimasi will not be pleased. Can they all get through there safely? Pretty clean, everyone keeping their nose very clean. Brilliant stuff, a great advert for SRL as they all go through the first corner. Julian gets the jump into second on his debut, but crucially it's Ash Richardson up into the lead of the Grand Prix. Julian second, we've got some yellow flags, we've got a huge mess down there. We've got Tiger Kurt off on his debut, we've got Shimasi, the championship leader, off as well on his, oh my goodness. Unbelievable, Shimasi is round as well down at the back, and we've got more cars off in the middle part of the lap. And we've got Skeeven and rubbing wheels with one of the Red Bulls, that's JG. We've got Frisky CJ off the racetrack down there as well. Oh, incredible. All the cars struggling for grip, aquaplaning wide, getting caught out in these tricky conditions. But the big story here is Ash Richardson leads and his championship rival is down at the back, experiencing some serious issues as we go back with Ash Richardson at the front, and he nearly loses it going through the Scottish chicane. Real drama on this opening lap, but on lap 1 out of 27 in these tricky conditions, Ash Richardson leads from Matt Meerkat second, he's down one position. Jamie Day is up a good few places into third, Pitman is fourth, Julian drops to fifth, he must have made an error, he was second at the start of the lap. Chicken is sixth, Arctic Devils is seventh, Titan has dropped to eighth, and Diego Killer is ninth. OTG rounds out the top 10 with Cherry Tupai right behind him. His Hearts teammate of Red Jams is there as well. In 12th, with Robin 13th, Jacob 14th, Space Unicorn 15th, and the rest all had issues on that opening lap. But we have to go to Cherry Tupai and OTG. They're going side by side down the start-finish straight towards turn 1. OTG tries to outbrake. Whoa, Cherry Tupai, they have a little bump. Cherry Tupai takes to the escape rope, and OTG rejoins, interestingly, in front. So let's get a better breath back from that incredible start to the race. Ash Richardson has opened up a second advantage, but I did see he picked up a 3-second time penalty. Stephen once again here at home, retiring from the race. And well, I'll tell you what, they're packing up and going home already, some of the Ferrari fans in the grandstand, would you believe? Well, it's a bit early for that because we are in for a fantastic race. Ash Richardson then leading from Matt Meerkat, then Jamie Day in third, Pitman is fourth, trying to kickstart his season, which is kind of meandered off into the unknown of late, to be honest. But Ash Richardson, it's very tricky for him out front. He's the lead car, everyone else uses him as a reference, and he slides massively coming out of the Ascari chicane, and Matt Meerkat can sense it. He can sense an opportunity to come back. But as I was saying, it is so difficult for these drivers, especially the lead car of Ash Richardson, to try and gauge the braking points, especially at a circuit like this where you're coming at corners at over 200 miles an hour, stopping down towards nearly 50 miles an hour, and to try and pick a braking point, it's very tough. The advantage though, on the flip side that Ash Richardson has, is he doesn't have a wall of spray basically facing him with the cars behind him, because basically all they see is a red dot coming from the back of Ash Richardson's car, a red LED light. So Ash has got visibility, but he doesn't have the references. So can he use the visibility to his advantage and stay ahead of Matt Meerkat? So Ash leads, Matt Meerkat second, Pitman third, Jamie Tay fourth, Julian fifth. We've got a barrel here for 10th, 11th and 12th still raging on. We've got CJ banging wheels with Cherry Tupai down the back, and Cherry Tupai drops into the unlucky spot of 13th place as CJ goes past him up into 12th place. So what's the closest barrel on the racetrack? They're actually quite spread out, believe it or not, the 18 cars that are running. We've actually lost JG as well. What happened to him? I'm not sure. Actually, the closest two cars on track appear to be... Oh, we've got Julian and Jamie Day now. Jamie Day's made an error and drops down to 5th place. We cannot keep up with this. We cannot catch all the action on the track. Jamie Day's dropped down now. We've got another yellow flag out there. Goodness knows why. But Jamie Day drops down. Pitman now goes up to 3rd. Julian back up into 4th place as Arctic Devils picks up a 3-second time penalty. Ash leads from Matt, from Pitman, then Julian, Jamie Day and Chicken, the top 6. And then the battle's still raging on between Jacob and OTG in the battle for the final point. That's the one to watch at the moment. Here comes Jacob, goes to the inside on OTG. Can he do it into the parabolica? OTG thinks better, Jacob thinks better of it, sorry. And OTG stays ahead. He's the sole remaining Ferrari. He's the man that's got to make this interesting for the Tifosi. And right now, in 11th place, he's not really tickling their taste buds with that, is he? He needs to get much higher up than that. And that's going to be a tall order from 11th place. And the Tifosi will be growing rather impatient. Can he make a move into turn 1 behind the Toro Rosso? No, he can't. I suppose the Tifosi have got to cheer on their other Italian team here. OTG's in the points in 10th, and the other one is sailing high up in the 3rd position of pit match. So have the Tifosi got to cheer on the other Italian team of Toro Rosso today? Maybe, because Stephen's out and Jacob's down in 11th place. So back to the front, Matt Meerkat putting the pressure on Ash Richardson, trying to force him into an error, and it's entirely possible we will see an error because it's very, very tricky in these conditions to keep it on the island at all costs. The gravel traps are quite forgiving around here. There's not massive runoffs. If you go wide at the Lesmos, you're in the gravel. If you go wide at Ascari, you're in the gravel. And possibly in the gravel at Parabolica in recent years, but not now. They have made it a little bit easier for cars to rejoin the track down there, as you can see now as we go through there with Ash Richardson running very wide and allowing Matt Meerkat to have a little bit of a run, I would think, as they go down the start-finish straight to start lap 5 out of 27. It's flown by so far because it's been action-packed as Julian now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and Tiger Cup picks up a 5-second time penalties. They all hurtle towards the first corner. Not much separating the top 5 cars. You can all see them. You can see them all in your screen as they go through the first chicane. And Ash Richardson just trying his best to hold on as we have another battle going on down the straight into the first corner, do we? Yeah, we do. And once again, it's the Ferrari of Jacob and OTG doing battle. There'll be a huge roar coming up from the grandstands if this Ferrari can get into the points. It might be a sarcastic one because they're not used to finishing in 10th place, let's be honest. He's going round the outside at Curva Grande. Oh, and OTG forcing him right to the extreme limits of the racetrack. And that is a reminder, that reminds me of Alonso versus Vettel down there. And through goes Jacob, and he slides wide, overcooks it on the way in, and that will surely allow OTG to come straight back through into the first Lesmo. And indeed he does. He goes straight back into 10th place and snatches that point right back off of the Slovakian driver, much to his frustration, as we once again go back to the action at the front, where Ash Richardson is keeping things under control. He's keeping a lid on it at the moment, not getting too flustered by the cars in close proximity. Pit Matt might be starting to wonder, does he want to defend or does he want to attack Matt Meerkat? Because that battle for second now is really starting to hot up quite nicely, as Jamie Day is getting dropped now from this leading group of 4. Shimasi still down in 12th place. Wow, this is a real switch for the championship here, as we now lose Robert from the Grand Prix. I'm going to see what happened to him. He's crashed coming out of the second Lesmo. Hopefully he's alright. He's obviously ran wide onto the gravel, tried to keep the foot in, and found out that wasn't a very good idea, because the Norwegian driver is bouncing, or is sat up against the Tech Pro barrier on the right hand side of the racetrack. So not at all what he was hoping for. As Ash Richardson back at the front misses the second chicane, having overcooked it, but stays in the lead for now, as Matt Meerkat, Pit Matt and Julian continue to shadow him. I have to say Julian's looking very racy in 4th position, really hoping to prove what he's capable of. It's Jacob and Ollie continue their race-long battle, and somehow Ollie is still holding on in 10th position. That's a fantastic battle. I hate having to cut away from it, but they have to keep an eye on what's going on at the front. But yeah, it's good to check in every now and then to this battle, as we now watch Jacob have another look at trying to pass this Toro Rosso. I think the Tifosi will be getting rather frustrated now that he's not managed to find a way through it, and again he remains tucked up behind him as they gingerly thread their way through the Ascari. Pardon me, the Ascari chicane, and he's got a good run this time. OTG got it all wrong on the exit, took too much curb. Jacob slingshots out of Ascari and finally completes the move, and is it for good this time into the Parabolica? It looks like it. He's through into 10th place. He's now got 11 seconds to make up to find Arctic Devils up the road. So I think 10th is as good as it's going to get. But here comes OTG again. Is he going to come straight back at him in this battle of the Italian teams at the Italian Grand Prix? Will he send a missile up the inside into one? No, he will not. And Jacob, no Daniel Ricciardo-esque moves there. And Jacob looks like he's finally completed that move and moved up into 11th place. Now I've got to say, interestingly, Shimasi is 12th, and he's going to struggle here to get right into the points. I know there's 20 laps to go, but This is not going to be easy. He's got 5 seconds to make up to find 11th place and 10th place, who are together on the track, and then a further 11.5 seconds to find Jacob. So to get into the points here, let alone the top 5 or 6, it's going to be an absolute mission for Shimase, the championship leader, seriously in the works. And it doesn't help when he's got serious damage to that right hand end plate on his car. So this is going to be a real struggle for Shimase as we watch CJ behind him take a little bit of gravel up and kick it up onto the racetrack and onto his tyres, but he gets away with it as we go back to the action once again at the front. So Ash Richardson holding that lead with Matt Meerkat in second, and Pit Matt dropping back a little now, not by much but just a little off the back of Matt Meerkat, inviting Julian to get involved, the Dutch driver on his debut. Getting really close now to the back of Pit Matt as it all Constantina's up. Going through that first chicane, Julian lighting up the rear tyres. Coming out of there. As they head now on lap 8 out of 27. Down towards the second chicane. And still Ash, Matt, Pit Matt and Julian, and there you go, Julian's got a chance now. He's going to go past Pit Matt here, side by side, down towards Lesmo number 1, and he goes through up into 3rd place, but can he come back on the exit here, Pit Matt? He's still having a look. No, he cannot, and Julian slips and slides his way past and up into 3rd place. I don't know what happened to Pit Matt. I think he outbraked himself, and then it was caught in 2 minds whether to cut the chicane or take the corner, and by getting caught in 2 minds he chose to take the corner when he really in the end could have cut the chicane and gone away with it, and ended up losing out to Julian, and through goes Julian up into 3rd place. Now he seems to be the man with the pace. He's been setting fastest laps. Can he now clamber onto the back of Matt Meerkat and Ash Richardson and make a real race of this? It's going to be very interesting to see, because he looks like he's got the pace in these conditions to really threaten them. Although I still can't help but feel that Ash Richardson has just got this in second gear, shelling out, realising the situation. He just needs to calm down and make sure he strokes this home. It's not easy to overtake. There's no DRS in activation. It's going to be very difficult. If he can keep this car on the island, make no mistakes, he's going to win this race, because it's very difficult to overtake. But there's a long way to go as Julian and Pit Matt continue their battle on the exit. Oh, Julian getting a covering Pit Matt. I have to say that was just about okay. He came right across Pit Matt before Pit Matt got alongside him, so that's okay. As he has been saying this week in the paddock, surely I can dictate the line from the car ahead, and he's absolutely right. He can dictate the line there. Pit Matt was not alongside him, so aggressive stuff, but very safe enough. No problems there. As look at this out front. Matt Meerkat now right on the back of Ash Richardson. Right on his tail. Closer than he's been so far. Half a second between them. Can he get the slingshot? Can he put enough pressure onto Ash Richardson to get a slingshot out of Ascari? Will Ash make a mistake? No, he will not. He keeps the car off the curbs to an extent and holds on in the lead. Lap 9 now at 27. As we now go past the 1/3 mark of this Grand Prix, the rain continuing to trickle down from the skies. Intermediate tyres. Your best bet at the moment is Jamie Day and Chicken do battle now. The two Saubers having a little scrap between themselves. Chicken was very impressive last week. And look at this, he's going side by side with Jamie Day. Is he going to go down the inside into turn 1? He might have to tuck back into the slipstream. Indeed he does. Chicken now moves to the inside to counter that, to cover him off, and the two teammates do battle. Meanwhile, ahead of that, we've got Pit Matt and Julian doing battle side by side. What a race this is. I'm really enjoying this. Julian again defends the inside through Curva Grande. Pit Matt will be forced to go right round the long way. And now, again, Julian moves to the inside, makes it very difficult. Pit Matt on the inside, very late on the brakes. Is that a brilliant move? They go side by side through there. Oh, that's absolutely stunning from Pit Matt. What a move that is. Sorry, I'm applauding. That was absolutely magnificent. Julian, great racing from him as well. He left her just enough room and no more. And I tell you what, Pit Matt even kicked up a little bit of dust as well on his way past, using the gravel trap to his advantage. I don't know how he managed it, but he finds a way past Julian, and that has got to be up there for one of the moves of the season. Absolutely incredible. As Chicken, and Timmy K, has he crashed? Yeah, he has. He's spun it on the exit of the first Lesmo, and has he rage quitted from there? I think he has, you know. And now Shamasi's up into 8th place. But he's up into 8th, but he's sliding. Made a mistake there, Shamasi. Incredible. Really enjoying this as we go back to the action. At the front, Matt Meerkat in the pits. Sorry, Ash Richardson in the pits. And Pitman as well. Several drivers coming in for their first pit stop. Is it time to change tyres? Surely not yet. Surely it's a long way from that. Can't see any reason to change tyres to dries. It's still raining. Oh, is that dry tyres? It is dry tyres, you know. It is still raining out of my commentary box window. It must be drying up to an extent. Jeff must be calling them in. And back onto the track goes Ash Richardson then, on the mediums. Pit Matt follows him out on the mediums as well, as does Tyne. He's also blinked, the Dutchman. So now then, what will Matt Meerkat do? What will Julian do? What will Chicken do? As Arctic Devils takes the scenic route through that second chicane. No harm done there. Shamasi also calling for the medium tyre. So will this help or hinder the likes of Matt Meerkat and Julian? Is this the moment Matt Meerkat takes the lead of the Grand Prix when he changes onto those medium tyres? There's no question it is time to change tyres. Otherwise we wouldn't see drivers coming into the pits with so many cars. So here we go. Matt Meerkat then on lap 11 out of 27. Is this time to blink? Is it time to pit? Let's have a look at the gap to the gap back to Ash Richardson. It's 23.1, coming down now to 22.8. Matt Meerkat gives it absolutely everything on the pit entry. He knows this is the key to the victory here this afternoon. He will be pleased it's drying out, to be honest, because he will now have DRS if he ever gets close enough, or he might even be in front here. We'll find out in a moment. What tyre is that? Medium. Going on for Matt Meerkat. Julian in as well. He is interestingly gone for a set of soft compound tyres. So where is Matt Meerkat in relation to Ash? Ash Richardson coming down the start-finish line now. Is he still in the lead of this race? He is absolutely still in the lead of this Grand Prix. Matt Meerkat losing time actually a little bit. And he is second with Pitman now third, Julian fourth after all of that. So unchanged in the top four. Tyne has jumped ahead of Chicken in all this. So good work from the Williams team getting him in early. He's having a fine race, the Williams driver, up into 5th. Chicken 6th then. And Arctic Devils is 7th as he gingerly finds his way through the first chicane as he gets his tyres up to temperature. Jacob 8th, still out there on those tyres. Daigle Killer is in. Shamasi, is he going to make a move on, make a position up on Daigle Killer? Yes, he's 9th. So he might get Jacob as well. So Shamasi will be up to 8th after all this, and he's locking up into turn 1, but he's getting there and gets it through the corner with no issues. Red Jam's in as well, OTG in, Frisky CG in, Space Unicorn and Cherry 25. They're all coming in for a set of dry compound tyres. The only man after this lap that will still be out there on intermediate tyres will be Jacob in the Ferrari. So a quick recap then. We'll be coming in a few moments once everyone's made their pit stop. But for now, the top 4, as you were before the pit stops. Unfortunately though, there's been a little bit of a field spread as a result of those stops. Ash Richardson now is a 2.5 second buffer over Matt Meerkat in second. Now can Matt Meerkat close that gap? It will be very difficult, there is no doubt about that. So Ash leads on lap 13 out of 27 as we get ready to reach the halfway point in this Grand Prix. Ash leads from Matt Meerkat second. Remember, Ash Richardson does have a 3-second time penalty. I'm actually going to have a look at penalties in a few moments time to tell you what's what. Ash leads though from Matt on the racetrack in second. Pit Matt third. Julian is 4th on the softs. Can he make them last to the finish? Will be interesting to see. Tyne is 5th, then Chicken is 6th, right behind him. Arctic Devil 7th, Jacob in 8th, Shamasi 9th, and in 10th is Daigle Killer as Jacob finally makes his stop, and he's going to be well outside the top 10 after making such a late call, I would think. So let's watch Chicken to battle with Tyne. Let's see who can come out on top here. Will Chicken win the battle or will Tyne win the battle as they head down towards the first Lesmo? The German driver Chicken getting right up behind the back of his Dutch rival as they go through the second Lesmo and down the back straight. The DRS is now active, I can tell you that, so that's going to be a little bit easier for these drivers to make moves. So now into Ascari. Tyne under real pressure here. He's soaking it all up so far, soaking it up as much as the sun is trying to soak up the dampness in this racetrack. Tyne, you can feel him chicken breathing down his neck. He feels the need to go defensive to the inside, trying to break the toe as they head now into the Parabolica. Dell holding off Chicken as they head across the start-finish line to begin the 14th lap of this Grand Prix. Has Chicken got the straight line speed as Tyne goes defensive to the inside? Chicken closing, DRS wide open on the back of that Sauber. Will he dive for the inside into one? No, he won't. Oh, Tyne locks up, the pressure tells, and it's just the moment Chicken goes past. You better believe it, it just about is. He slides into a gap that was barely visible and moves up into 5th position. Tyne tried his best to hold him back, he couldn't, he bottled under the pressure, and Chicken moves up into 5th place. Oh, he now was very deep and has the rear end slipping and sliding on him into the second chicane, but he keeps it all under control, and he now runs up in 5th place, collecting 10 World Championship points. A solid result for him from here. It's going to be a tall order to pull in on Julian, but Julian might need to make two. Oh, and we've lost 10. He's crashed. Oh, unbelievable. On the exit of the Lesmo, honestly, I just cut away from him, and on the exit of the Lesmo, he's put a wheel in the kitty litter, bounced across the track, and ripped the right front wheel off his car, and what was looking like a fantastic result for him has gone up in smoke, and he is out of the Italian Grand Prix, and he will be kicking himself. Oh, that's a real shame. He was on for a fantastic result, and he joins Jamie Day, who also spun and crashed at the same corner. Tiger Kart is out too. Didn't see what happened to him, I don't think, if I don't recall. Robin is out as well. He also came to grief down at the second Lesmo exit. JG is out, Skeven is out, and we're down now to 14 runners. I can tell you, Ash Richardson is being reeled in by Matt Meerkat at the front as Shimasi sets a new fastest lap of the race, and as a result of Tyne's retirement, moves up into 7th place, and all of a sudden, things weren't looking rosy earlier on, but due to this being a race of attrition, Shimasi is now in with a shout of getting back involved. Quite interestingly. So Matt Meerkat now only half a second behind Ash Richardson, and this is really becoming the scrap to watch at the moment. Box office stuff. Stay tuned to the finish, folks. This promises to be a cracker as Matt Meerkat begins to turn the screw. Gets right onto the back of Ash Richardson. Can he make him, force him into any sort of error, any kind of mistake? As they head now down into the Parabolica, and we've got another yellow out there. Why is that? Who is off the circuit? Not sure. I can't find anyone off the circuit. Might have been Cherry Tupai who's getting lapped. Probably what it was. As Matt Meerkat closes in now on the back of Ash Richardson. Remember, if anything happens between these two, Pit Matt and Julian will walk straight through the front door and get right involved in this. So they need to be careful. Ash Richardson also needs to be careful. Yeah, he's in a championship battle. He's going to be picking up a lot of points on his rivals here. So we really cannot afford to get involved in a battle that sees him lose out massively. What will Ash do? Will he get involved? Will he be flustered by this? Or if Matt gets a run, will he just let him go? I suppose he can't really afford to let him go. 7 points being lost to Shimasi would not be ideal. As it stands, he would take the championship lead. If he loses the lead, that would be a different story. So, with 11 laps to go, can Matt Meerkat find a way past Ash Richardson? Matt Meerkat, remember, representing the Supreme Racing League, as is Stephen, of course, who retired earlier on in the United League Championship on Tuesday night. Be sure to tune into that, 8:30 UK time, the United League Championship, a league where 10 teams all come together, 10 racing leagues all come together and do battle over 10 rounds of a 50% championship to see who's the king on PS4. Well, yeah, Matt Meerkat and Shimasi, sorry, not Shimasi, Skeeven will be running for Supreme Racing League on that on Tuesday night. Be sure to tune in to that as we go now join the battle between 3rd and 4th as Julian on those quicker, less durable, remember, soft compound tyres, closes in on the back of Pitman. So we've got two good battles at the front going on here. We've got Ash versus Matt for the victory and Pip versus Julian for 3rd and 4th. As Chicken is now out of the race. What's happened to him? Didn't see it, but Chicken is now out of the Grand Prix. And we're down to 13 runners. We're actually losing more cars now, almost in the dry conditions as they try to avoid the damp patches than we were in the wet conditions. But Ash still holding back Matt Meerkat, but behind that we need to keep a closer eye on Julian because he's got the bit between his teeth. He's right behind Pit Matt now, right in the toe, and this is it then. He's surely going to make the move here. Julian tucked right up behind Pit Matt, the Flying Dutchman. Can he find a way through on his debut and get onto the podium? Through the Parabolica, lighting up the rear tyres. Oh, nearly sliding off the circuit there. He's pushing very hard. Pit Matt still holding on to that 3rd place. Meanwhile at the front, still it's Ash Richardson. He's braking very, very early. He's trying to do it cautiously because he knows Matt Meerkat's right behind him. He knows he can't afford to go off the track and make an error. Pit Matt still 3rd, Julian still 4th. You don't know where to look at the moment. Do you look at the battle for the lead? Do you look at the battle for 3rd and 4th? Right now I'm going to go for the battle. I don't know, what do I watch? Oh, the lead's got to be priority, but Julian looks really racy behind Pit Matt. We'll stick with Julian for now. He's on the soft compound tyre. Remember, if he can get ahead of Pit Matt, it won't be a done deal because at the end of the race, Pit Matt will have the better tyres on those mediums. Julian's soft compound will start to wear out, you would feel. He has got 9 more laps to do on him. And look at Julian lighting up the rear tyres on the AstroTurf there. Unbelievable confidence there. He very nearly lit up the rears and went for a slide into the barrier, as I've seen so many others do. And he's now right behind Pit Matt. Surely this time he's going to make the move through the Ascari chicane, down the back straight towards the Parabolica. He tucks himself right up behind the Toro Rosso, the sister team of the Red Bull. Can he make a move into the Parabolica? No, he can't. It's a very difficult place to make a move there. It's usually all about setting yourself up for a run across the start-finish line. And that's exactly what Julian has done. He's now right up behind Pit Matt. Pit Matt defends to the inside. He's telling Julian, no chance going down the inside, mate, you better try the outside. Julian will now switch to the outside. Can he outbrake the Toro Rosso? Can he force Pit Matt off the road? By making an error, he can go right round the outside. There's light contact between the two. And Julian returns the favour on Pit Matt from earlier in the race and goes right round the outside of him. Pit Matt made the error of going deep. He was pressured into that error. And Julian goes round the outside and takes the place unbelievably. And we've now got another yellow flag in Sector 2, and I don't know why. I'll tell you why. It's Frisky CJ, another one to add to the list of cars to have crashed on the exit of the first Lesmo. And as we watch him in the wall, look who's right up behind Ash Richardson. Matt Meerkat. This has been a thrilling race. Action everywhere you look. Battle for 3rd, battle for the lead, cars on the wall everywhere. Brilliant to watch. And now Ash Richardson is under real pressure. Matt Meerkat closer than he's been over the 19 laps, and this time he'll have DRS. Can he do what Julian did and set this one up going into the Parabolica? He needs to set it up, get the braking point right. Ash Richardson with a slight lock up there, but Ash was pretty clean, he was pretty tidy. And now Matt Meerkat has got to get the ultimate toll here in that Force India. He's got a Mercedes engine in the back of it. He's got everything he needs. He's now got DRS. He's closing, but he's not closing enough. And somehow Ash Richardson is going to stay in front unless he outbreaks himself like Pit Matt did. But no, he does not. He has to hold on to this Ash Richardson. He wants to leave here as a championship leader. But remember, he has a penalty. But we're not going to let that spoil the battle for the victory. We're going to see this go the duration. We really, really do. So, Ash Richardson still holding on. And has he weathered that little storm as Pit Matt is now back ahead of Julian in that ding-dong battle, unseen by myself. Julian is going to have to double his efforts and try again. And again, using all the carbon, some of the AstroTurf coming out of the second Lesmo. You have to feel he's the next favourite to be in the wall down there. The amount of the carbon runoff he's taking, he's the quickest on the throttle every time through there between these two. And look at that, he's got so much dirty air going through that part of the lap. You can see him snaking his way through the as far as you can, but he's still got to run on pit map, and he'll have to try again. Meanwhile, in the battle for the lead is Matt Meerkat, close enough to make a move. It doesn't look likely this time round. Will he force Ash into a mistake into turn one? Will he try and dance his way down the pit straight? Try and make Ash look in his mirrors before the braking point? No, he doesn't. He stays the same. And he brakes very, very late. And Ash Richardson was very, very cautious. What about Julian? Is he close enough on pit mat? No, he's not close enough on pit mat. And he stays in 4th place. And this battle for the final podium spot is really, really, really hotting up. Who will take home the champagne between those two this afternoon? All of the top 4 have been brilliant to watch. And I have to ask, who do I make the driver of the day here? I've got to make 3 suggestions over the next 6 laps. If there's anyone watching in the comments, tell us who you think should be driver of the day. I think it's going to have to come from one of the top 4. You know what? You know what, I'm going to call this now. The top 3 drivers, whoever those guys are, whoever the top 3 are at the end of this race, are the 3 drivers I will nominate for driver of the day. Whoever the top 3 are, because they have been in a class of their own. They're 15 seconds clear of the rest. Okay, there's 5.6 between Pitman and Matt Meerkat, but these guys have been absolutely brilliant at the front. And it's got to be one of these 4. But if I have to make it 3, it's going to be the last man on the podium. So not only are they fighting out for the champagne, they're fighting it out for a trophy as well, and of course the accolade of driver of the day, or a place on the driver of the day shortlist. So now down the straight, look at Matt Meerkat this time. This is closer than he's been at any point. Matt Meerkat right up behind Ash Richardson. Will he feel the need to dive to the inside? He might have a chance. He tries to go the long way around. Ash Richardson's cautious on the brake pedal. He goes right round the inside of the Renault. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Matt Meerkat into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix with just 5.5 laps to go. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Ash Richardson, he knew he had to be cautious. He's got a championship to fight. He's been cautious all race long on the brakes into that first corner, and this time he's had to pay as Matt Meerkat sweeps right round the outside of him, and the Force India takes the lead. And look at the scenes in the Force India garage. They're going absolutely crazy and heading their hands down at Renault. Ash has conceded the lead, but can he bite back? He has to bite back if he wants to leave here as a championship leader. Unbelievable. And if he does bite back and win this race, with Shimasi in 6th, he will lead the World Championship, if my calculations are correct, by 1 point. So he needs to get back in front of Matt Meerkat. So can he do it now as he goes down the down the back straight towards the Parabolica once again? Matt Meerkat holding firm in the lead of the race. Ash Richardson winding up through the gears. Can he get the slipstream? He's a decent straight line speed. He's probably going to come straight back at him here. He certainly looks quicker than Matt Meerkat does in a straight line. And he's going to go to the outside. Matt Meerkat defends the inside. Can he do it? Matt did to him in the previous lap. He has to go aggressive this time. Tries to brake late. He's going to try and go down the outside. Is he going to do it? Oh wow, he is! Whew. This is incredible. Meanwhile, behind that, Julian and Pitmat are doing having a battle, and Pitmat holds on. But Ash Richardson, that was classy. He returns the favour on Matt Meerkat and retakes the lead of the race. It wasn't as clean cut as it was for Matt Meerkat in the previous lap. But Ash finally gets his elbows out on the brakes down at turn 1 and goes round the outside of Matt Meerkat, left him hanging out to dry through the second part of the chicane. And there was only one winner there, and that was Ash Richardson climbing back up into the lead. But while Matt Meerkat comes straight back at him again, this is going to be all the way to the flag, folks. I'm telling you, do not go anywhere. Lap 23 out of 27. Place your bets, folks. Who's going to win this? Ash or Matt? Or are they both going to collide and let one of the others come through the door? And even if they do collide, I'm still not sure who wins it. Would it be Matt? Would it be Julian? No idea. As Julian picks up a 3-second time penalty. And now Matt Meerkat is right back behind Ash. Is he going to be forced to the outside again? It's slightly harder for Matt to get onto the back of Ash. I think Ash has got a little bit more straight line speed than him. I really do. Across the line, DRS open for the Force India. Can he go right round the outside again? Surely Ash will defend to the inside again. He's actually going for the middle of the track this time. That was clever, actually. Oh, he nearly squeezed the middle road. Matt Meerkat around the outside. And he has to bundle across the curve. And that was very, very, very clever driving from Ash Richardson. He chose to place the car in the middle of the road into turn 1. Make Matt Meerkat be indecisive. Was there enough room in the inside, he was thinking? Was there enough room in the outside? And in the end, Ash Richardson gave himself enough of an angle to hold position through the chicane. So brilliant work there from Ash Richardson. Good, smart driving. He's learned his lesson and parked it in the middle of the road. And now, Matt Meerkat's going to have to really, really think out of the box here if he wants to get past. But look at this, he's so close to the back of him. He's keeping on his tail. And Matt Meerkat, I think he's got the pace advantage on Ash. He has closed down him since the pit stops, but he just cannot get that move sealed. Lap 24 out of 27. Any of the Tifosi that went home after Skeevan's retirement will be regretting it now, because this is turning into an SRL classic here. The biggest field of the season. It might not be the biggest bunch of finishers because we've lost so many at various points of the racetrack, particularly down at that second Lesmo. So Ash Richardson, Matt Meerkat right behind him in second. Is he close enough this time? As Julian is still stuck behind Matt, as his tyres finally ran out of grip? I would think so. Into the first corner they go. Matt Meerkat and Ash Richardson. It's still as you were. Ash from Matt. Not long left. Let's give you a quick rundown of the order. Ash Richardson leads just, and I mean that, just, from Matt Meerkat in second. Pit Matt is third, trying to get back into the championship hunt after a real struggle in recent weeks. No podium since Canada, remember. Julian is trying to stop him from ending that podiumless streak. He's right behind him in fourth. Arctic Devils is fifth, with Shimasi now right behind him. Shimasi is really holding him in. And Shimasi, if he goes past here, oh, what is that from Arctic Devils? What was that? That was ridiculous. Chopped across the front of Shimasi, that'll go to the stewards, undoubtedly. And Shimasi will be absolutely furious with Arctic Devils there. The Welshman not covering himself in glory, and Shimasi's front wings in bits. And all of a sudden, sixth place will be a tall order now. And that will be music in Ash Richardson ears. Unfortunately, you'll not be listening to me, because I'm going to have to listen to his engineer. It's Matt Meerkat. Whoa, gets a humongous slide coming out of the final corner. I nearly stuck it in the barrier there. And is that the final straw? Is that the end of all this? Quite possibly. 8 tenths between them now, but Ash Richardson slides in the curb through turn 1, and now Matt Meerkat is invited back into the battle yet again. Unbelievable. I tried to run through the order there to kill some time, but no, this race isn't allowing me time to do anything like that. Unbelievable. Ash leads from Matt Meerkat just. Pit Matt third, Julian fourth. His efforts to get on the podium are just about finished now, I think. Arctic Devils is fifth. The Eagle Killer is sixth. Shimasi has had to pit with that front wing damage, unfortunately for him. He is going to lose his championship lead, I think. He's 7th at the moment. He's going to drop down to 8th now. And it will be 8th he will finish. Shimasi 8th, OTG 9th. Jacob is going to get the final point, so there is something for the Tifosi to cheer about in 10th. Speech in the corner 11th, and Cherry Tupai rounds out the field in a disappointing 12th position. We lost CJ at the second Lesmo. We lost Chicken, unsure where. We lost Tyne at the second Lesmo. We lost Jamie at the second Lesmo. I'm not sure about Tiger Car. We lost Robin at the second Lesmo. We just about lost everyone at the second Lesmo, folks. I'm not going to lie. Probably the guys I don't know about, Tiger Car and Chicken, they probably lost it there as well, to be honest. But anyway, Ash Richardson across the start-finish line to start the final lap. And I can tell you now, those Renault mechanics are not racing out of the garage onto the pit wall to greet their man. They're staying glued to the TV screens in the garage because they know this is not a done deal yet. He has not got 25 points registered on the board by any means yet. It's not over till it's over. And Matt Meerkat is doing everything he can to force Ash into a mistake. Will he buckle? Remember, Ash is a 3-second time penalty. Let's have a quick look at the time penalties on this final lap. We have got a chance to do it now. It's very important that I don't miscall this result. Let's have a look at the guys at the front. Ash Richardson, he has got a 3-second time penalty. As we know, Matt Meerkat has not got any. So Matt Meerkat is going to win this race if he doesn't pick up any penalties. Pit Matt's got 1. And Julian has got 1 as well. So There won't be much changing other than the victory. It's going to go to Matt Meerkat this Grand Prix. We've got another yellow out there. Is Cherry Tupai the latest man to crash? Yes, he is. He's crashed on the start-finish straight. And he is out. Interestingly, he's not managed to do it the second lesson. But here comes Ash Richardson. Pressured all the way by Matt Meerkat right to the end. Matt Meerkat doesn't know it yet. He is going to win this race as a result of penalties. Ash Richardson, he's defended well. It's a shame it's going to go down to penalties. He wins on the track, but Matt Meerkat wins as a result of penalties to deny Ash Richardson. So Matt Meerkat wins. Ash is second. Pit Matt comes home third. Julian fourth. He misses out on the podium. On his debut, it's still a fine performance. Arctic Devils is going to come home in fifth, but he will surely be investigated for his antics up against Shimasi. He's fifth. The Eagle Keller on his debut is going to come home sixth. From fourth and sixth for debutants. Red Jams is going to be seventh. And it will be eighth for OTG or White, because Shimasi is right behind him in that battle for eighth and ninth. And he could really, seriously do with the points. Can he make the move into the Parabolica? Has a look on the inside, but he cannot find a way through, and it looks like it's all over for Shimasi. Or is it all over? There's a lot of lag going on here. Has he got a run here going across the line? It's too little, too late. And it looks to me like Shimasi, as a result of that, loses his World Championship lead. It's actually showing him his 10th due to penalties. Unbelievable. Shimasi, having been on a roll before Christmas, they had the winter break, has now picked up 1 point from a possible 50 in 2 races. And Ash Richardson, meanwhile, has picked up 50 from 50. And that is how quickly things can change in Formula 1. You've seen it in the actual Formula 1 season with Sebastian Vettel. You're seeing it here being played out by Shimasi and Ash Richardson. Is Ash now the title favourite? I'm not so sure. Sorry, did I say 50 out of 50? Ash didn't win the race, my apologies. He is still the championship leader, 18 points to 25. But that's how quickly things can change. Matt Meerkat, your winner. Apologies, Matt. Matt Meerkat wins. So Ash Richardson second and Pit Matt in third. But wow, absolutely thrilling race here in Monza. We had everything. We had so much drama right to the finish between the leaders, between the guys fighting for the podium. Some of the best overtakes I've seen all season. An absolute classic. But there it is. Let's round it all off. Matt Meerkat wins from Ash Richardson in second. Pit Matt is third. Those three go to my driver of the day nominations, I have to say, because quite frankly, they're on a class of their own. It was brilliant to watch at times. Julian was fourth. He was absolutely magnificent as well on his debut. It's a shame he's missed out on a podium in his debut. Arctic Devils fifth. That will go to the stewards though, because that was crazy what he did to Shimasi. The Eagle Killer was sixth. Red Jam seventh. OTG eighth. Jacob ninth. Shimasi's penalties see him drop to 10th and drop down into second in the World Championship standings. Space Unicorn missed out on the point. Cherry Tupai crashed before the end. And that was that. What a thrilling race. So yeah, that rounds off the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. It rounds off the European leg of the SRL PS4 season. And up next, we head under the lights to Asia for the Singapore Grand Prix. It promises to be another cracker. If it's anything like that, I'm sure you'll want to tune in. So that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And with Ash Richardson now in the championship lead as we go to the Asian leg, can he retain it as we go to Singapore? See you next time.